In this recording, I'm going to explain how trainees modify an existing CA diary entry. To do so, firstly go to your CA diary dashboard and select the second option from your menu. Here we have a number of CA diary entries that are at various stages of progress for this trainee. A quick tip for everyone is to put the CA diary entries into date order, select the start date in the maroon banner, and that puts them into date order. It makes it easier to see the flow of the dates. Key information under the status field here. Any diary entries that have a status of submitted to mentor, with student, or unlocked are editable by the trainee. Any diary entry that is locked is view only, and in that case, should there be further rework required, the mentor would need to unlock the entry for you. Alternatively, training support can assist with that. Now, the way that diary entries are modified will depend on when they were created. If the diary entry was created in the functionality that predated the upgrade in November 2021, there is going to be a mix of the old functionality and the new functionality. So for the first part of this demonstration, I'm going to select an entry that was created some time ago and I want to edit it. So it was created in the pre-November 21 functionality, but it's still editable. So the dates are there, and for demonstration purposes, this is some time ago. Obviously, you would be more up to date with your diary entries. This entry's got 13 work experience days and a number of holidays recorded. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to remove, let's say, the annual leave from this entry. That changes the number of available days to 16, so I'm going to make that one change. Now, the description that was recorded in the original entry, along with the title, both of those are still there, and you do have options to make edits. It is recommended that trainees always use, where possible, Google Chrome, as it's the most compatible web browser. Now, this is a diary entry that's there, and you can change, obviously, the narrative, the title, and any of these aspects. The learning level is picked up under the most recent functionality, and you'll know that because you'll see the tooltip there as well. So the new features have been pulled into this entry, as well as existing information being retained. Now, this is an audit diary entry. The system has detected that because there is at least one auditing competency element from either auditing or auditing other. These fields were not available when the trainee originally created this entry, so therefore they have to be completed as they are mandatory. So in this case, let's just say we'll make our selections in the mandatory fields and include our job titles and range of experience. Now, the range of experience is an important one. If you look under the number of audit days here, the trainee hadn't recorded any audit days at all, but had they, for example, had a figure in here for statutory audit NI UK days, if they wish to make an edit to that, they would have to select that option from the list. So I'm going to do that now, just because in this scenario, let's say we want to edit the number of audit days. So I'm going to input 10 statutory audit days NI UK. Do remember you have your tooltip here and your active links to the guidance. So the trainee in this case would be selecting the NI guidance if they want to check for accuracy of their inputs. There is a client engagement field there that's completely optional. So we have an existing audit diary entry. Now, the competency AU4 is there, and the trainee has already put in a detailed review. So there is no real need for the trainee to repeat that information. However, if they wish, they can add supplementary information in the relevant audit or non-audit competency text box. For this demonstration, let's assume the trainee is satisfied with the information that's in this text box. So therefore, we are seeing the trainee put in see description above. Now, obviously, there's an option to add in additional audit or other auditing competency elements, but they have one in, so it's a minimum requirement. Now, again, the trainee has here input some competency elements from the business environment financial reporting groups. So again, if the existing description covers all of that off, there is no need to make any input any additional information. It is an option if they want to supplement the entry with some specifics around those competency elements. Competency elements, whether it's audit or non-audit, can be removed. Additional ones can be added using the drop-down menus, which of course are multi-select. So if the trainee wanted to add in, for example, a finance competency, they would select that group and then select the relevant competency element. So CF1, for example, and once that's added in, the trainee will be inputting a description in there. So that's something that they may have pre-prepared. So removing or adding competency elements, making any changes to pre-existing information under the time frame screen, diary entry, existing narrative, all of that can be edited. The reflections on learning field, again, that is a new field since the entry was created, so they would simply refer to the existing text box if they wish, or if they prefer, the trainee can input additional information in here. The options at the bottom remain as they previously would have been: save and exit or submit. For this demonstration, I am going to submit the diary entry. We'll see the message flagging regarding the accuracy of audit days. I'm going to select yes for this one. So that has the edits made to that particular entry. That has now been submitted, and you'll note that although it's submitted, it is still editable by the trainee. The next demonstration is to show how a diary entry would be modified that was created under the most recent November 2021 functionality. Again, the statuses will determine whether it's editable or not. In this case, I know that this has been created in the new functionality because it has understand level 1. So I'm going to click edit. The exact same principles will apply in terms of the trainee's ability to modify information, with the exception of the start date, it has to be said, and the time frame, diary entry field, whether it's an audit or a non-audit diary entry, those can be edited as well. And the pre-existing data that was input by the trainee is there. So let's just suggest that the trainee has recognised that they've overstated the statutory audit days. So to correct that, the trainee is going to select the category, statutory audit, ROI, click off that section, and you can see it's populated here, and now this field has become available. So the trainee can make edits to the number of audit days. So I'm going to work on the assumption that that was the only required edit, and that the trainee now wants to submit the entry. Of course, they have the option of saving it again if they wish to submit, for example, a number of entries in bulk, but that shouldn't exceed a 6-month period. However, I'm satisfied with that information. If I wasn't, I'd click no, and it would allow me back to edit the fields in this screen. So I'm going to click yes. And we now see that the diary entry has been submitted to Mentor. So anything with submitted to Mentor is still editable by the trainee, but when they're locked, there is no option unless it is then subsequently unlocked. And that concludes this recording on modifying CA diary entries.